thank you for coming. One of the government's main goals is to restore economic health to Bermuda, to create new conditions that enable Bermudians to find work and career opportunities. The Ministry of Home Affairs plays a critical role in achieving that goal. Specifically, its mission is to improve the economy by addressing the needs of the local and international business community and the career aspirations of Bermudians. This morning, I'd like to review a new draft work permit policy for Bermuda, which I believe will greatly further our efforts in this regard. The revision was undertaken to keep Bermuda current in an ever-changing, highly competitive world, and has been developed over the last year through consultation with stakeholders and the community at large. The work was led by the Work Permit Stakeholder Group, which is comprised of representatives from employer and employee groups. Their work will continue as we seek feedback on the draft policy. As Minister, I'm also continuing this consultative process, having already presented major changes to the Labour Advisory Council, BIU, the Association of Bermuda Insurers and Reinsurers, and the Association of Bermuda International Companies. I will be making further presentations this week and next to the Chamber of Commerce, Bermuda Employers Council, Bermuda Hotel Association, and the Bermuda Human Resources Association. The meetings that we've held so far have been extremely helpful to us, as each organization has provided excellent feedback on the proposals. We also look forward to receiving feedback from the public before finalizing the document. People will be able to view the document on the government website, www.gov.bm, and have until October 17th to send us their views. They can do this by emailing workpermitpolicy@gov.bm. I'd now like to run through some of the principal changes in the draft policy. New categories of work permits are being proposed, such as the Bermuda Employment Visa and the Global Entrepreneur Work Permit. A Bermuda Employment Visa, or BEV, will make it possible for exempted companies to employ a limited number of foreign nationals without needing to advertise or applying for a standard work permit. The total number of BEVs issued to an exempted company will be limited to 20% of the total Bermuda-based workforce of that exempted company. Companies that wish to participate in obtaining a BEV will need to be accredited. Accreditation will include a process requiring the creation of workplace opportunities for Bermudians in the form of training programs and succession planning. BEVs will essentially replace 10-year work permits and can be applied for a period of 1 to 7 years. The new Global Entrepreneurial Permit has been created to enable individuals who are planning new startup companies in Bermuda to apply for work permits. This will enable individuals to live in Bermuda while conducting their business planning. Other changes proposed in the draft policy include the new business permit. These would allow brand new companies to Bermuda to obtain work permits without advertising during the first 6 months of their existence. If 10 or more permits are required, then information will be asked of the new company regarding their growth strategy and how they intend to employ Bermudians. This information will be taken into account when further permits are applied for. Our aim with this policy is to attract companies to relocate to Bermuda. The knock-on effect, of course, is more people on the ground, renting homes and apartments, paying taxes, eating in our restaurants, and generally contributing to Bermuda's economic well-being. I must reiterate that this will apply just to new companies coming to Bermuda, with new staff coming, not as a vehicle to shift employees already in Bermuda to a new subsidiary. Other policy changes include the requirement for employers to do the following. They must satisfy government that they have informed all unsuccessful Bermudians, spouses of Bermudians, and PRC holders of the outcome of their applications prior to the submission of a work permit application. They must ensure that all jobs are advertised on the government job board, with their advertisements running for 8 consecutive days. They must ensure that when an established graduate training program or an established exchange internship program exists, that Bermudian spouses of Bermudians and PRC holders are given equal opportunity to participate in related programs. And they may be asked to participate in initiatives led by the National Training Board to boost the number of Bermudians employed in job categories where there are currently high numbers of work permit holders. Employers who employ more than 5 permit holders may be invited to participate in those initiatives. Other policy changes will require businesses to provide additional information to the Department of Immigration. Restaurants, for example, will need to outline the minimum weekly take-home pay for their workers, and beauty salons will need to include sick and holiday pay information in their contracts of employment. The draft policy also proposes to end the practice of giving refunds to unexpired periods of work permits. This will remove more red tape of the department and encourage employers to apply for the length of permit that they actually require. These new policies will complement the powers already given to the Chief Immigration Officer in terms of levying civil penalties for rogue employers and employees. Overall, we believe these changes will demonstrate to the local and international community that Bermuda continues to be open for business as we continue to cut down on red tape, which hinders our growth as an international business domicile. For example, employers will now only need to produce chest x-rays for tuberculosis for employees coming from high-risk jurisdictions and will be able to complete work permit forms in Microsoft Word. However, there are quid pro quos as identified above, which we believe will give opportunities to Bermudians while assisting businesses in their goals. Bermuda must be seen to be competitive. However, being competitive does not mean selling out on opportunities for Bermudians. By ensuring our immigration policies are transparent and fair, we aim to attract new business to Bermuda to stimulate continued growth. These policies will make Bermuda more competitive, but also go a long way to encouraging employers to train Bermudians and put them on a career path that meets their needs and ambitions. The Department of Immigration is often on the front line and often catches the blame when things go wrong. I wish to make it clear again, those complaints are taken seriously, whether anonymous or not. However, I must take this opportunity to also say that most employers do want to hire Bermudians. Whilst there are some rogue employers out there, most want qualified Bermudians. It is better for their business planning and growth strategies. I believe that the policy changes will make employers even more responsible and cognizant of their responsibilities to the local workforce. The intent is for the new policy to come into effect on the 1st of December. As there will be new fees associated with the new work permits, this will require legislative approval, which we plan to table in the legislature in November. New work permit application forms will be available online only, as will further information on the accreditation process for the BEVs. I have today given just a small snapshot of the proposed changes to the policy given the natural time constraints of a press conference. The aim of these policy changes is to help turn the economy around in ways that benefit Bermudians directly and indirectly, to cut red tape, to make the system more user-friendly and transparent, and to provide new training and career opportunities for Bermudians. Again, I invite members of the public to read the policy document and give us feedback so that we are all well informed going